Do it live.
I'm like refreshing your page.
So my back is really messed up. So like, just like in the summer. So don't argue with me like last week because I'm really crappy.
Only non-controversial opinions today.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we're talking today about the Mandalorian season 2 finale.
Yes, we are. Um, so first, obviously, the big uh, the big reveal, the big surprise, but one we probably should have seen coming. Uh, Luke is back. Luke Skywalker has risen from the grave. He has survived the ashes of 3 horrible sequel movies. He is back. He is better than ever. This was this was how should we say Luke's Rogue One, where Vader kind of got rehabilitated with the hallway scene in Rogue One. Took down a bunch of red shirts in the hallway in a way that we hadn't seen in live action before, and now we got to see Luke at his full strength. Uh, these dark troopers were too much to handle. They were gonna wreck everybody else, and Luke literally just walked right through them. So that was awesome. I was crying. I was in tears. I was the guy who was crying in episode 8 when they killed Luke. They punked him out. They didn't give him a real ending, in my opinion, and so it's just really good to see him back in action.
Okay. But before we go any further, the crying was it like oh yeah, Luke's back, or was it like oh my god, they brought Luke back?
No, it was literally like he had been resurrected because I cried in the theaters in episode 8 when I realized Luke was not going to be, or I thought Luke would never be on screen again. I thought like this is it. We have ruined it. It's over. So it felt like I had a second chance at life.
Okay,
Um,
all right.
so really happy for the 5 minutes. You look at it was probably even like 2 minutes or less of screen time. But it's the kind of 2 minutes you would go back and watch again.
Sure, it was a long 2 minutes too, because like they built up to it too, right? Like,
Yes, the reveal. So let's talk about the reveal. So first, it's a single X-wing. So your first thought is like, what uh, the other X-wing pilot? He just randomly shows up to
yeah,
like hand them a ticket. You're like, okay, like what's happening here? And then it doesn't try to shoot the cruiser; it just lands. You're like, what's happening here? Um, and then once you see the cloak, and you're like, okay, we know this is a Jedi, but then it's the lightsaber is green. What did it for me was the Michael Jackson glove. When you
the
see
Mike,
his
yeah,
gloved right
the
hand
Michael Jackson
and
glove, yeah.
his non-gloved left hand, and that was like, oh my god, it's real. This is happening, and they capped it off when he sheathes his lightsaber. You see, it's Luke's lightsaber that he could strike in episode 6. So really well done. Almost felt too good to be true, but um, yeah. What did you think about the deep fake?
The deep fake, the deep fake was like I wasn't sure if they were using a different actor and putting their face over it, because he was like really athletic and everything, and Mark Hamill's kind of getting up there. So like, I wasn't sure. I could tell it was a deep fake, um, but it like wasn't like bad deep fake. I guess um, I thought it was okay. I thought it was decent.
Yeah, I mean, well, they were very careful to. Well, here's the thing about deepfakes: it doesn't have to be the actor at all, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but they were also careful to never show his face when he was actually doing any action scene. So, you know, body language is also a really important part of acting. I think that had him on set, which is kind of amazing that they were able to keep that quiet. But uh,
He also might have done the what do you call it? The shit. I forgot the term for it. Like he might have actually been on set. He might have just done the audio, and they had a
just
different
the voice
actor.
acting,
Yeah, the voice acting. I forget what they call it.
I don't think they credited anyone else. You know
Yeah,
the
yeah, but then they also like, I mean, whoever they use is probably not a big name, right? So you just put a name up there. Maybe they just didn't want to, you know, like they didn't put whoever did the deep fake for Leia and Rogue One up there, right? I'm sure she was in there, but she's not like in the, you know,
right.
starring credits in the beginning of the credits.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm glad you brought up Leia because that's our point of comparison, right? We or the 3 points that we have are Leia, Tarkin, and now we have Luke. So uh, I went back and watched the Leia one again. Uh, Obviously, just saw the Luke one, and then Tarkin. You know, what do you think? Are these any of these believable? Do you buy it?
Okay, so the Tarkin one took me by surprise because I was not expecting it at all, and he's also the actor and the character itself is kind of supposed to be intimidating and scarier. So that one kind of freaked me out just because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that was the first. It came before the Leia one in the movie, so it was like the first long scene deep fake like in cinemas, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so that kind of freaked me out a little bit when I saw it at the beginning. Plus, I was freaking out as a fanboy just because he was on screen again. Um,
Well, I don't know if it's the first deepfake. If you recall, Jeff Bridges, Tron Legacy. What did you think of that
oh, I
one?
forgot about that. Damn, that was a long time ago too. That
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
2011 or something. Yeah,
And I felt like that one was kind of seamless. Like
that one was pretty
you,
good. That was one of the best ones I've seen. Yeah.
maybe they put their entire budget into that deepfake plus the Daft Punk soundtrack.
Plus the music, yeah, yeah. I liked that movie. I thought it got a lot of hate, undeserved hate, but we could talk about that another
Yeah,
time.
yeah. We'll have to schedule a Tron
Tron
podcast.
Legacy podcast, yeah. Um,
Uh, yeah, I think of course I always make the mistake of going on Reddit and seeing what people say about all this stuff. So some people they hate on the Tarkin CGI. They think it doesn't look real or whatever. Um, to me, I saw Rogue One in movie theaters back when movie theaters were a thing. Remember that?
whoa, the
Uh,
member.
yeah, Pepperidge
I
Farm
member
remembers.
Pepper Charter.
I'll tell you, when I was watching the theaters, I just like, okay, it looks like a human to me, and I was like, I didn't at no point did they think like, ooh, that's a robot. I can't watch this. So I guess I'm trying to say I'm down with deepfakes. Let's bring it on.
Yeah, I think you gotta like. I think they gotta use them sparingly and only and do them well and like don't go cheap on it. But I like this one. I think it was worth it for this one. It to me, I don't know what your opinion is. To me, this seems like a one-off. I don't think we're gonna see them again. Uh, like,
So
I don't think we're gonna see them again until maybe like the final finale of like the Mandalorian, where he like decides to hang up his gun and goes to live with like goes to adopt Baby Yoda from the Jedi Temple or something, thereby saving him from Kylo Ren's onslaught.
yes, exactly. So we've got to look forward here, and we unfortunately, because of the sequel trilogy, we know how the story ends, where we know. Okay, so here's something interesting. Luke's technically, I believe this was expanded upon in some novel or comic, but Luke's first official apprentice was actually Ben. Okay, so what does that make Grogu? Is he like chopped liver? Does he not count?
Okay, so in the timeline, is Ben even born yet in
No.
Mandalorian?
Uh, or if he is born yet, he's too young.
He's like probably a baby still.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess my question is like, is Grogu meant to be at Luke's Jedi Academy when everything goes down, I feel like they're gonna set it up so Luke trains him for a short amount of time, and then he's gonna come back to hang out with the Mandalorian.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. I don't think they would like just off the writers would just off him just to get go with Luke and get killed by Kylo or whatever.
Right, right.
So yeah, that would
Yeah.
make sense. And I would say they put so much emphasis on their connection that they're gonna end up together one way or the other.
Yep, yep, yep. Okay, so we know where Grogu's going. We know what Luke is up to. Um, what about Mando? He's got a dark saber. Okay, it kind of seems like he's fallen into ruling a planet without knowing it.
Okay, yeah.
What's up with that?
So yeah, what's up with that is like okay, so he decide Bo-Katan and I guess the tradition or whatever, they decided that they said that she has to fight him for it, right? You can't just give it
Yeah,
over. That's the pansy way.
yeah. So first, it's a little weird for Bo-Katan to be so uh, dogmatic about that one thing when she was the one telling Din that he belonged to a cult.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's like anybody in that room is not going to spill the beans that she didn't win the dark saber in combat. It's fine. And if you go back to Rebels, which I think you're still working through, but spoiler alert, Bo-Katan didn't get the dark saber in combat that time either. So it seems like a uh, very heavy-handed way of Mando being thrust into this position of leadership among the Mandalorians somehow or the other.
I mean, it's great for like a character arc storyline, I guess, for him, because you know everything was tied up with Grogu for so long that he's got to go somewhere. I guess there could be like a conflict between him not wanting the leadership and like because he is the dark saber, he has to take up the leadership. And there's also the fact that you know Bo-Katan waiting in the wings or whatever. Is she going to challenge him? Is she not going to challenge him? Maybe
Well,
that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like the Ross and Rachel of Star Wars. It's gonna be like are they gonna get together by fighting each other, or are they, you know, it's like are they gonna fight or are they not gonna fight? Instead of are they gonna kiss or not kiss?
and she's seen his face now. So, um, and by the way, like props for demonstrating an actual character arc. uh, by the end of the show, Din has become a little more flexible. He he's able to do what he needs to get what he wants. So I thought that was a cool moment. Baby touching his face. That's always good. But yeah, I mean, who do you think wins, Mando versus Bo-Katan?
If they actually fight, or what do I think they're gonna do?
If they fight, who will win?
If they fight, I feel like they're gonna. I feel like it's gonna be a draw somehow. I don't feel like they would do a definitive winner because like Bo-Katan is so beloved. Obviously, Din is beloved. I don't feel like they're gonna kill anybody.
Yeah, my understanding of the rules is it's not a fight to the death. You can surrender.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
but
that's true. I guess what's his face just got beat.
Gideon surrendered.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. Mando seems to have the weight advantage. He's got the Beskar spear. He's got. I don't know. I feel like Bo-Katan's works better in a team, but on a one-on-one fight, I think he's got it.
Okay. Bo-Katan's got like experience behind her though. Isn't she older? Isn't
She
she
is much
like the
older.
like the former leader of the Mandalorians? Isn't she like like I mean they're all warriors, I guess, but
Yeah. So Mando was basically born a few years before the Clone Wars started. Bo-Katan was already an adult during that time. So she's pushing 50 or 60.
okay. So maybe she's got experience, but maybe age might be not on her side, I guess.
Or yeah, that would be my guess. It's unclear also like to what extent the armor has like enhances the strength of its bearer.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe I've just been watching you play Cyberpunk too much, but uh, cool, cool. Hey, what did you think of the Dark Troopers? Were you getting Terminator vibes?
Yeah, they were a little too much Terminator.
Pretty strong, right? It
Pretty
felt like
strong resemblance. Yeah, yeah.
you could probably occupy like a planet with those things. I mean, they got like their jetpacks and stuff. It's basically Iron Man.
Yeah, they were basically T500s, whatever Arnold Schwarzenegger's model was, like with jetpacks.
Yeah, I think he's the T1000.
T No, he's definitely not the T1000.
Which one is?
Oh, I think he's the T800.
Yeah, 800. That's right. He's the 800.
But I
The
think other
T1000 is the
the
flexible
liquid
guy.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, um, where do you think Cara Dune goes after this? She goes back to the New Republic. Seems like a safe bet.
yeah, she's going. I mean, she's got to go do her new show, right? She's got to
Does she have her own show?
I mean, she's going to be the Rangers of the New Republic. That's what everybody's talking about, isn't it?
Oh,
I think that's what that
interesting.
is. When I first heard about it, I thought they were gonna do it like about the two X-wing pilots from the few episodes ago. Because I
You
would
know
watch
the
a show
second
about
pilot.
those two guys. It was Dave Filoni and then the Korean
Yeah,
guy. I love that actor, so I thought that would be awesome if they did that. But from what I'm hearing on the internet, it's probably going to be Cara Dune's own show.
yeah. It seems like there's not much information except that it's there's an upcoming crossover event with the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Rangers of the New Republic. So yeah, seems like Cara Dune's going to be in it. If
Oh,
she's not the main
so they
character.
are going to do crossovers like Agents of Shield and everything is Marvel.
Yeah, the I think we like to rag on DC a lot, but um, their crossover events on TV are probably like the best thing about those shows, right?
Oh, do you talk about DC TV? Yeah, don't rag on DC TV.
For sure.
Although it's not everybody likes it, but yeah, DC TV they did like Crisis on Infinite Earths. That was nuts.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Green Arrow. Only problem with Green Arrow is that the eyeline flashback scenes were better than the actual show. But um, Green Arrow was great. Thought it was awesome. Flash was good, although I have strong hate for Iris in that show. Uh, what
You and
else?
everybody on Reddit.
I mean, look. There's no excusing her behavior. Like
You are not the Flash, Josh. We are the Flash.
you should be a comics writer. Anyway, so any final thoughts on Mandalorian season 1 and 2?
um. Yeah. Oh no. Post credit scene, man. We got to talk about that. Like
Post credit scene.
that. Okay. So in my message text to you, I called him Bubba the Hutt because that's just what it looked like to me. Like he took over
Yeah.
whatever that crime lord's lair was. He's got Fennec by his side. She's basically like his hand of the king. Like this doesn't fall anywhere within. To me, it doesn't fall within anywhere within any of those announced new shows. So is this like? Do you think this is gonna be like a subplot in the Mandalorian, or do you think they're gonna just do another show that they haven't announced yet?
I'm leaning like 60-40 towards new show. I think Tamura Morrison and Ming Na Wen are more than enough star power. And you just kind of show Boba building up his criminal empire and doing his own bounty hunting. I think that's dope. I'm tuning into that. Uh, seems I don't know. Thing about Mando, thing about Din, he's not really a criminal. He's got like this code of honor and ethics. I feel like he and Boba has always been, not that bounty hunters are illegal per se, but Boba has always had some sketchy ethics, going back to Clone Wars. So I feel like those two we're always going to butt helmets. I think this is a different show.
Okay, so they're going their own way. They're going a little more unlawful neutral or whatever the D&D alignment is.
chaotic,
Chaotic.
unlawful.
I don't know what
uh,
it is.
uh, yeah, no, that's interesting. Boba seems like a lawful, neutral kind of person.
I'm,
Din is like a also kind of lawful, neutral, maybe lawful good.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm excited for that. If that's a new show, then yeah, I would really like to watch that. Obviously. Uh,
yeah, I think so. There's like so many different ways they could go with it. I think it's gonna be good.
Also, do you think we're gonna get post credit scenes to every finale for every Star Wars show there's gonna be now? Like you said, everything is Marvel, so it's just
Yeah,
post credit
everything
scenes
is
for everything.
Marvelized now. I feel like if Favreau keeps doing things, yeah, I mean, why not? As long as it's not like, as long as it's not. What was that? Howard the Duck. I could have done without Howard the Duck.
Was that like the Guardians? One of the Guardians movies he was in that?
I, I, I think the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, they had Howard the Duck be a part of the collector's collection, and it was really a waste of my 5 minutes I waited in the theaters.
Yeah, if we were to rank all of the post credit scenes, that'd probably be at the bottom. That one for the MCU.
Well, that's a great segue into a little game we're going to play today.
Okay, yeah. See what
Do
I
do you
did there?
have?
See what I did there?
Excellent. Look at you driving along the airport and your segue. So you got the image? Yes, there it is. So we thought we would try. The first thing we did is we took a list of all these movies and films, sorry, movies and shows, which are Marvel's upcoming projects. I made a top five and a bottom five. Brian has made a top five and a bottom five, and we're gonna try to guess each other's top five and bottom five. So Ryan, are you ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
You want to do the bottom five or the top five
Okay,
first?
I prepared for this, but then I didn't actually prepare because I had ranked my stuff, but I didn't think about what your stuff would be. So I might have to
I
think
know
I might have to think on the fly here.
that's totally fine. Totally fine. I think that's actually better. I don't want you. It's like chess, right? If you have too much time, you come up with the perfect move and it's boring.
Okay, all right.
All right, so
Let's
you
start
want to
with
guess first?
let's start with least anticipated stuff, and then we'll guess each other's, and then we'll move on to the most anticipated stuff.
Okay. So do you want to guess my bottom five?
Okay, let me guess your bottom five.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so guess my fifth least anticipated show
Okay.
or movie.
All right. Um. So I don't know anything about like which characters you like or don't like, except for just now you were yelling at me about that Ant-Man thing. So I'm gonna say Ant-Man is not anywhere in your bottom five, but other than that,
It's a good guess. So you guess.
I can't really tell. So I'm just gonna go with uh, Eternals.
Eternals is in my bottom five. It
It
is
is.
not
Oh,
the.
nice.
So we'll give you 1 point there.
Okay.
Could put 1 point on the board. You'll get 3 points if you get the right order of any of these.
Okay.
All right. So should I take a turn or do you want to keep going?
No, you take a turn, because if you know, like, yeah, you take a turn.
All right. I'm gonna say in your bottom five there is Moon Knight.
Dude, you got the right. Oh man, you you got it right on the money too. The exact position too. That's like my fifth
Moon
least
Knight.
anticipated.
I mean, Moon Knight. Nothing wrong with Moon Knight. But there is a lot of potential for that movie to be really whack. I'm
Okay,
just gonna
I
throw that out
chose
there.
that just because I don't know anything about it. Although I think I heard like Jon Snow was gonna be in it, maybe. Um.
Yeah, I was looking at the list of actors and actresses. They have plucked a couple of people from Game of Thrones in different roles.
Okay,
So
so yeah, like if he's for sure, I wasn't sure if that was confirmed or not. So if he's for sure in that, then my interest is probably gonna go up. I don't know if it'll bring it out of my bottom five, but yeah, I don't know much about the character at all.
okay, cool. So I get 3 points.
Okay.
Nailed it. Okay, so I guess I have to tell you what my number 5 was, right?
Not no. Well, okay, fine.
Yeah. So my number 5 least anticipated Marvel production on this list is actually going to be WandaVision.
Really?
WandaVision, yeah. So here's the thing about Wanda. I don't think they have the best actress for that role. I don't know.
Whoa, whoa, dude.
Does not compelling. I think it's not bad. Just seems kind of seems a little eh.
Don't you?
Like nothing really exciting there.
Okay, all right, all right. Just throwing some shade at Elizabeth Olsen. Okay.
I mean, hey, like I will say this: there are I'm referring to House of M here. There are plot lines where Wanda is involved that really wreck the entire universe. So there is like some potential where this is like a key part of some sort of reboot or collision of universes. Anyway,
Uh,
go ahead.
that's true. I mean, we could talk more about that if you want. Like, she's supposed to be tied into the Doctor Strange movie and MCU stuff, and then there's or multiverse stuff, and then there's also rumors that maybe she'll like bring in the X-Men somehow because she's supposed to be a mutant, right, in the comics.
She is a mutant. She is so in the comics she's actually a child of Magneto. Um and of course that has all been like that's not the case in the MCU.
Do you think? Sorry, we're going on a tangent here, but I really want to talk to somebody about this. Do you think they're gonna retcon her parentage?
So that's the beauty of having a multiverse, right? It doesn't have to be a retcon. You can just say it's an alternate reality. Um,
That's
but
true.
and that is also one of the features of her power. She has the power to warp reality, so she can reality bend her parents into existence, and it's all like it's technically not a retcon. It technically fits in
So
universe.
you think she would reality bend Michael Fassbender as her daddy,
I mean, hey, why not?
or Ian McKellen?
Well, it wouldn't be Ian McKellen.
It could be Ian
uh,
McKellen. Why couldn't it be Ian McKellen?
I think I don't know if that's the best fit.
Are, are you being ageist, dude?
I'm just saying, like, so super tangent. Like, what's up with the X Men movies lately? Like, what's the plan there?
Uh, did, well, what do you mean? It seems like they're slow rolling it. It seems like they're not gonna do something. Well, here what I think they're gonna do is they're not purposely not gonna be announcing anything, and there's just gonna be a big ass surprise in one of the movies, uh,
Interesting,
or TV shows.
cool. It's kind of like I mean, Solo was not marketed, but that doesn't mean it was like hidden. I'm trying to think of a movie that just kind of dropped. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, go ahead. Guess my number for
Okay, I'm
least
guessing you're.
anticipated.
Um. Well, okay, because you said WandaVision, then I'm gonna go with Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
You think Doctor Strange is in my bottom
Okay,
four,
all right. No,
essentially?
can I get a redo?
Yeah, I'll let you mulligan that one. Sure.
Okay, I'll mulligan that one. Maybe Blade.
All right, I'm gonna give you 0 points for that one.
Okay,
Blade is not in my bottom five.
okay. Don't
Instead, at number
ridicule me
four,
for it. Jeez.
no, you just get 0 points.
Okay, okay.
That's okay. You don't lose any points for guessing. Um, so at number four, least anticipated, I actually have Black Widow.
Is that even on this thing? Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, Black Widow. Let me explain here. Uh, never been a suit. Okay, so I think Scarlett Johansson is great. I don't know if she's the right person to be Black Widow. I never have really bought into her character, and I feel like there's a really high potential that she's going to mail in the performance, given that this seems like the last hurrah. So, not really looking forward to this movie. Gonna watch it. Not super thrilled.
Interesting. Interesting. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm, uh, like, it's not like. it's not like the Avengers Endgame. It's like,
Yeah.
and obviously, like a lot of people have been saying, this movie is like 5 years past due, and if it was like 5 years ago, it would have been, probably like one of the most anticipated. But and I agree with that. But yeah, she's just, it's basically just the passing of the torch thing, right? Sorry, potential spoilers for this movie, but she's like basically just gonna pass on the Black Widow mantle to Florence Pugh, or somebody else, but it's like 99% Florence Pugh.
I mean that's fine.
So it's, yeah,
Uh,
it's kind of like a done deal, and you know what's gonna happen. The only thing about that movie that I kind of am interested in is seeing the Taskmaster's identity, because it seems like they're playing it like it's somebody important in the trailers. Although that might be
Task
a disappointment too. I don't know.
Taskmaster is always interesting because he's pretty strong for a villain. Uh, anyway, yeah, Taskmaster. I'm probably more excited about Taskmaster than Black Widow.
You want a Taskmaster movie?
All right, all right.
Okay.
Uh,
Um.
your number four least anticipated. I am going to go with take a little bit of a risk here. I'm going to say I am Groot.
Are you? Am I still sharing my screen with you?
Nope, nope,
You gotta be
nope.
kidding me, dude.
Another 3 points.
Another 3 points. What the heck?
Look at this. Look at this. Nailed it. But yeah, good. So this is an animated TV show, is what it is. So I just don't think you're going to be into that. That's why I picked it.
Yep. Um. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. And like, I'm under the opinion that too much Groot is not good for Groot.
Yeah, how do you write the dialogue for that show?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, all right, go ahead. Should go for my number three.
Go for your number three. Okay. Um, I'm gonna go with maybe Captain Marvel 2.
So this is actually going to be you get 0 points. This is actually going to be the slot for Eternals.
Okay.
This is and like I was telling you before, cosmic beings are really hard to film. Just super tough. Even Thanos, right? Thanos, they portrayed as this really down to earth dude at the end of the day, versus how he's portrayed in the comics, which is, something very cosmic. He can manipulate universes and all this stuff. He communes with death itself. So they've got some really great actors, some really great list of names. I wonder if it's not going to be just Marvel's version of Immortals or Clash of the Titans or something like that.
Okay. So you're saying Thanos is an Eternal, right? Or
Thanos is Thanos an Eternal? I think he
I don't
is.
know. I've heard that he is, and I've heard that he isn't. So I know he's a Titan, and he's from Titan in the M or the Marvel lore.
Uh,
I've heard people call him the last Eternal as well. So I don't know.
it says here he is an Eternal deviant hybrid.
Well, oh geez, that just sounds super complicated.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So the other side of it is someone like not that he tried to do this, but imagine trying to do uh oh shoot. Imagine trying to do Dark Side in a live action movie. Pretty tough, right?
you mean like the origins of Darkseid?
No, I mean like let's say you want to do Superman versus Dark Side live action. Like I just think that'd be really hard to film and pull off, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
So for that reason, Eternals is my number three.
Okay.
Okay, it's time for me to guess your number three.
My
Uh,
number two oh yeah, no, three. Here. Okay, go ahead.
your your third uh, least anticipated movie. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with.
If you get this right, I'm accusing you of hacking.
I'm gonna go with She-Hulk.
You get 1 point. She is on my list. So you can't guess her again, just out of fairness.
Oh, but she's one or two now. That's
But
so
she's one or
close.
two, so you can't guess her again. Okay, that's not fair.
So do I get another guess now at the number 3 slot?
Okay, fine.
All right, I'm gonna go with four.
With Thor, Love and Thunder.
No, four, like Fantastic Four.
Oh, four. Is that what it's just called? It's just called four.
It doesn't have a title yet, so
Okay. No, that's no. So you get
that's
one.
not
You
in the
get one
bottom
point
five.
for guessing She-Hulk. Uh,
Okay. What's your number 3?
my number three is Guardians Holiday Special.
Oh, that doesn't count. Whatever. Okay, fine. I take my loss. You don't even have to explain.
What? Okay.
Go ahead. Go for my number 2.
Okay. All right.
Number 1. Go for number 2.
Maybe Ironheart.
Nope. Nope. My number 2 is actually Shang-Chi.
Oh, you're racist. You be racist.
You can call me racist. That's fine. But reality is, I think. Look, I actually liked Iron Fist. I thought they had like a good approach to
You
it. Like,
liked Iron Fist?
I enjoyed watching Iron Fist.
You liked
So
watching him say Iron Fist like 962 times every episode?
okay, let me explain. So, um, if when you watch Iron Fist, I think if you understand that it's copying and imitating a lot of Chinese martial arts movies and Shaolin and all this other good stuff, and you put it next to that, you kind of see how it's like drawing on those traditions of what may look to us like cheesy action film tropes. But if you look at it through that lens, I think it was like a good show, well put together. But I totally understand if like you're watching and you're just like, what is happening and why why are they talking like this? So like on its own, it doesn't really make any sense. But I think they're gonna look at they're looking at Iron Fist. They're gonna consider it a failure, and they're trying to do. They're gonna try to like Americanize it or Westernize Shang Chi, and it's not gonna go well. That's why it's my number 2 least anticipated movie. I just don't think it's gonna come out right.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I would Shang-Chi is not on my list, that if that gives you a little tip, but it is definitely not on my anticipated as well. But I am anticipating. It's just there's other stuff that I am waiting for even more. But yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fine.
Okay, so it's time to guess your number 2.
Okay. Which you
Uh,
already okay.
I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark. What if?
Okay. So that is my number one. So you've like guessed
Oh,
all my shit. So
I got 4 out of 5.
I don't know if you get 3 points for that, or I guess you get 3 points for that just because She-Hulk was already number two. So
Yeah, what if? I mean, well, it's gonna be a TV show. It looks like they're gonna have a couple different short scenarios that are what if situations. I don't know. I think if they're probably not gonna have the original actors and actresses. Uh,
yeah. So
what if?
this is one of the shows that had like, but even before this last investor call last week, right? This is one of the ones they had announced like last year, I think, like before
Yeah.
Disney Plus even came out. Which, by the way, all that stuff they announced for Disney Plus for Marvel stuff, none of it has come out yet. Hello.
Well, I mean, we know that Disney Plus is they're never gonna be on time. That's such the nature of their
Yeah,
company.
I mean, I guess Corona stuff too. Probably like Corona probably put a wrench in all the post production for all those shows, and they probably have a ton of post production.
So last thing I'll say about What If, it's actually an animated series.
Right, right.
So I guess there's like I don't know.
Is
We'll see.
animated a little bit lower tier, like lower priority for you? Because it is for me.
No, I don't mind the animated. I just think that like, uh, well, first there's hasn't been, in my opinion, great animation coming out of Marvel. I just haven't. Maybe it's out there. I just haven't seen it. So to an extent, it's kind of like you got to show me something before you're gonna really hook me with an animated show from for these properties.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm lukewarm on what if.
Yeah,
Okay.
same. I mean, they have a lot of. I mean, they have like an Avengers show. They have a Tony Stark show. They have like a Guardians of the Galaxy show, all animated. But I haven't seen a single episode. And the bits that I did see, like it looks pretty kiddie. So,
Right.
um,
Okay. So you got one more guest left. What do you think is my
your top.
top?
Yep.
Yeah, my least anticipated out of all of these.
All right. So, I mean, I was purposely not overlapping with my own guesses, but maybe Miss Marvel.
No, no, it's not number one. I'll give you another guess because you really should get this one.
I really should get this one.
Yes, I'm actually really passionate about this pick.
Oh, geez. Now all the pressure's on. It's not any, okay. It's not any of the ones that I had, right?
Uh, no, it's not any of your bottom five.
I feel like it's something we haven't talked about yet. So, oh, maybe Hawkeye.
No, 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 no.
Ah, damn.
Hawkeye.
Ah, damn.
Hawkeye's its own little thing. We might say a few words about Hawkeye, but my number one least anticipated Marvel property coming up is none other than the new Fantastic Four movie.
Okay.
Okay, so
Actually, I was gonna guess that next. Yeah.
so let's just remember the context in which this film is coming out, and also keep in mind the type of property that Fantastic Four is. Fantastic Four is Marvel's first family. You have like an actual genuine team that has like real dynamics and a ton of history. They have interactions with every other piece of the Marvel universe. They've taken down street level villains. They've taken down cosmic beings. So many awesome stories to draw upon. And the first two attempts to do any justice, three if you count the '90s series, have been total failures, and not just like box office failures, but actual failures. Like whoever made these movies, I have to think this has to be like a huge regret piece of their career.
Okay.
Like like holy cow, how do you mess up Doctor Doom? It's really not that complicated. Doctor Doom is an amazing character. He's very straightforward, but also has depth. Haven't seen a great version of him on screen.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I just don't have confidence they're going to do anything with this.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to argue with you on this one because I had put this in my like honorable mention as like my most anticipated movies because I had like 7 movies that I was really anticipating that I wanted to put on the list. Um, but it didn't like make the cut at the top 5, so it's like my number 6 or number 7.
All right.
And the reason is a couple of reasons. Number one is because I feel like the okay, first of all, I feel like there was too much hate given to the first two Fantastic Fours, which we could talk about another time.
Ugh.
But
Okay.
then the most recent one I felt like was like the studio just trying to keep the rights. They're just trying to rush something out, and then when they rushed it out, it was shit. And then the studio was crapping on Josh Trank, and then Josh Trank was crapping on the studio, and then the poor actors are just like shit runs downhill, so they're just getting the short end of the stick for everything. So, but I feel like if it's coming home to Marvel, they're gonna do it right. They did it. They did it right with Spider-Man. Spider-Man had 2 goes, and they were not bad goes of it. But of course, everybody thought like Spider-Man 3 is like, oh man, how are they gonna do it again and keep it fresh? It's gonna be so stupid. But everybody loves like Tom Holland and the new ones, right? So it's like, so I think yeah, Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family. It'll be done right. Hopefully. And then the second reason I want to say is because I think Fantastic Four are tied a lot in the comics to a lot of like the super big bag villains, aren't they?
Yep. Yep.
Like Doctor Doom, he's like an Avengers level villain if in certain
Yep.
stories, right? Like they
Doom
need
is
help.
super powerful.
Yeah, so like he can be super powerful if they, if the story calls for it. And then I think they're tied to like Silver Surfer and Galactus, right? And
Yep.
then
Yep.
there's talk about Kang the Conqueror. I don't know if they're tied to him, but
Yep. Yep. That's a Fantastic Four. Well, Kang, I believe he was originally an Avengers villain, uh, and then long term he's been more of a Fantastic Four villain, if I recall my memory. If I
okay, so
recall my memory.
that's why I'm anticipating it. I mean, it could be what you're saying. They could just like dump all over it, and it could be a piece of crap. But uh,
Yeah. I mean, we're both gonna see it.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna
That's
see all of this. Well, maybe not all of
yeah.
it, but
I think that just shows like the strength of these properties. Is
we're
we're
gonna
still
see
gonna
like
see it.
80% of these. So
Yeah. All right. So I feel like we've got a decent. One thing I wanted to say. I'm glad you brought up Spider-Man because I feel like the uh, the first two Spider franchises, especially the first one, have gotten the Star Wars prequel treatment where they were like almost lambasted when they came out, and now people look at them so much fonder than I remembered. And obviously, like it's almost becoming a meme at this point where it's like, oh, Spider-Man One is the best Spider-Man. And it's like, are you sure? Like, are we looking at the same movie?
that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Time changes perception, I guess. Yeah.
I suppose that whoever was a small child when that film came out is now an adult with
And
an opinion
who
on the
knows
internet.
what'll happen in 20 years, dude? The people will be like, "Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie ever," you know?
Oh, fade me. Just
And then you're just gonna be like that grouchy old man,
bro.
being like,
Bro.
you kids don't know nothing."
Uh, yeah, I don't even know, dude. I don't know what. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna guess your fifth most anticipated film.
Okay.
I'm gonna
We're switching
go.
over to most anticipated. We're done with the least
Yeah, yeah.
anticipated. Okay.
So there's a bunch in the middle there, and are not gonna make any list. Number five, I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put. So many good choices. I'm gonna put the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Um.
Is it on your list?
That is not on my list. Actually, I didn't even like think about that when I was ranking it.
Oh no!
But it's pretty anticipated. Yeah. I,
All right, I
I
get
definitely
0
want to see
points.
it more than I don't want to see it.
So
And
what's your
that's like
number
the
five?
second one that's coming out, right?
Yeah, it's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, and I liked the preview. I liked the trailer. I like. I think that these characters, Bucky and Sam. Um,
Yeah, Sam Wilson.
Sam Wilson. Yeah, Bucky and Falcon, or Winter Soldier and Falcon. I think they need some more like character arcs. I think. Just because they get overshadowed by Captain America and everybody else. So I'm looking forward to it. It's not on my like most anticipated though. So
All
you get
right,
0 points,
what's
I guess.
yeah? I get 0 points. But what is your number five then?
Um, what is my number five? Deadpool.
Deadpool three. Okay,
Deadpool 3.
cool, cool, cool.
If that's really what that is that Deadpool 3, or is that like a Deadpool show?
Oh, I there's no Deadpool cartoon in the works.
Okay.
Let me just
Yeah, and
look this
I
up.
just chose that just because it was like, I don't know, Deadpool 1 and 2 are awesome, and then I feel like they're gonna do some, because it's back with Marvel now. They're gonna do some funny shenanigans, guaranteed.
So the writers of Bob's Burgers are going to be writing Deadpool 3. Ryan Reynolds is back.
See, that's like
And
absolute gold, right?
yeah, all right. I think it's a solid number five. Okay. Go ahead, give a shot at my number five.
Okay. do I go for the guaranteed 1 point here, or
Strategy.
do I try to stick the 3 point landing later on? I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Guardians 3.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 nets you 1 point.
One
It's 1
point,
point.
yay.
Okay. Uh, so we'll get to that when we get to it. Uh, my actual number 5 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the guaranteed. Damn it! I should have gone with it. Okay.
So, a couple of unresolved plot lines, right? We've got Ant-Man's mother often whatever the micro miniverse. Whatever it's called?
You mean Wasp Mother or
Yes, yes, her mother. Uh, One of the very few Marvel characters that has two living parents, by the way. We've also
an interesting observation? Yeah, that's true.
no, yeah, we can just go through this list real quick. Wanda's parents killed in whatever Covia. Sam Wilson, I don't know about his parents. Bucky's parents have to be dead. Uh, Black Widow's orphan. Loki's parents are dead. One of them killed kind of indirectly by him, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Shang-Chi, don't know. Eternals, they are the parents. Miss Marvel has parents, at least at the start of her movie. Hawkeye's parents, pretty sure they're dead. Spider-Man, obviously. Doctor Strange's parents are dead. Thor's parents are dead. Blade's parents are dead, very dead. Tony's parents are dead. Deadpool's parents are dead.
Did you
All
say
of the Guardians of
Hawkeye?
the Galaxy. Hawkeye, he I
Most
skipped over
likely.
him. He almost probably has parents off screen. I'll say he does. Um, Black Panther, parents are dead. Captain Marvel, parents are dead.
Black Panther's mom is around.
Is she still around?
Angela Bassett, bro. She was still kicking it. She was at the
I know.
end of Avengers Endgame.
I don't even remember. I don't remember. Okay, he's got one parent. That's
Okay.
that's one more than most of the people on this list.
Okay.
Anyway, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Love the first two movies. Looking forward to seeing if we can get what's the name of Lawrence Fishburne's character? Is it Giant Man? Goliath.
Uh
If we can get
oh.
some Goliath back, I just think there's a lot of potential here. We're going to resolve some plot lines. We're going to get, I think, the daughter. The daughter is grown up now, so she'll be like mini Ant Woman or whatever.
Oh, that's true. She got recast too, right? Last week or something.
Yeah. Let me tell you, she probably grew up the most in 5 years out of anybody I've ever seen.
You mean between Ant-Man 2 and Avengers or
Yes. Like, wow, that was a long 5 years.
Oh no, I
Oh,
mean she got recast again.
oh, is that true?
Yeah, they replaced the Avengers actress with somebody else. I just saw that. I don't know why though.
Interesting. Okay. Well, it was probably because they couldn't keep selling this 5 year. It's just whatever. Let's move on. Your number 4. Um, your number 4 is what was your number 5? I forgot.
um did I tell you? Oh, yeah, Deadpool.
Deadpool 3. Okay, so your number 4 is gonna be. Uh, let's take a risk here. I'm gonna go with Blade.
What?
Yeah,
You
Blade.
get negative points.
I get negative
No,
points. You don't
okay.
like Blade?
You get 0 points.
You don't like Blade? This is tragic.
No, I'm neutral on it. Like I feel like Wesley Snipes' Blade was pretty good. Like I thought it was pretty badass. So I don't know how they can top that. But I mean, they're Marvel. They'll probably top it. But I felt like he was pretty darn good in it.
Definitely one of the best castings of all time. I do think there's major room for improvement after the first movie, or maybe we don't acknowledge Blade 2 and 3. So
Um, yeah, I mean, I liked all of them. Yeah, but if you go back and watch the first one now, it's pretty cheesy. I still think Blade 3 is pretty good.
Blade Trinity.
Yeah, Trinity. Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds basically playing Deadpool.
Oh man. Okay, so what's your number four?
My number four is it was Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man Quantumania.
Ah, a man of taste and culture, I see. All right, go for my number four.
um, I'm gonna go with what did we already guess? I guessed for you Guardians 3. I got 1 point, and then you said, oh yeah, and I was gonna do Ant-Man, but we already that was your number five.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Thor, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Dang, Thor. Thor was a tough cut from my top five.
Oh,
So you get 0 points there. But I'll give you another guess because you were pretty close.
okay. Probably uh Loki. Did I already guess that? No.
That's
Loki.
another 0 points. Not
Aw,
not
damn.
super looking forward to Loki. Um, could be good. Could be kind of lame. We'll see. Um, it really depends on what kind of characters they surround him with. But my actual number four is Spider-Man: Home Sweet Home.
Oh, okay. All right.
So from what I understand, it's it's like a crossover movie with Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. So like all these old characters that are coming back, they're going to appear in both. However, that's going to work out. I'm just really looking forward to it. But I'm generally a Spider-Man person. I've got way too many Spider-Man comic books. It's I'm all about Spider-Man.
Um, yeah, let's I want to talk about that more actually at the end.
Okay.
Let's hold on to that. I have a couple of things I want to talk to you about the end of this thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I want
Okay. So
Spider-Man is
let's
one of them.
let's get through this list then. Number three. It's my turn to guess. Uh, your third most anticipated is hmm. I'm gonna guess Spider-Man. Why not?
You get 1 point. He's on the
Dang.
list.
Okay. Do we get another guess?
Um, sure, I'll be generous. Even
uh,
though you already got a point.
I'll guess Loki because you guessed Loki for me. So that seems to think you think Loki will be good.
Nah, I actually didn't really think that you wanted Loki that much. I just wanted to throw it out there and talk about it,
Okay. All right.
but he's not on my list now. So you get 1 point for
Tactical
Spider-Man.
guess. Okay. Cool. What's your number three?
My number three is Doctor Strange.
Yes. Okay.
So like a lot of the same reasons you said, it's gonna be tied probably with Spider-Man, and it'll probably be multiverse stuff going on. I think Wanda's in it too. So they got some. They're gonna do some crazy universe stuff that'll be breaking fourth walls and everything, and or yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I hope they give Rachel McAdams like a bigger like make her a bigger deal. I felt like she got kind of shortchanged in the first Doctor Strange movie. She was just like generic hero girlfriend, as a character. So, and she's obviously like a big name actress and a great actress. So I hope they do something more with her. I don't know. Is her character like a hero too or something, or is she just like the girlfriend? I don't know.
Typically, Doctor Strange does not have any like attachments to humans. He's like meditating all
Oh,
the
okay.
time.
He's too good for us. He's metaphysical and out
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Yeah, but literally. So I'm not super up to date on my Doctor Strange lore, but I don't believe he has a normal love interest like this often. So could be like a fleshed out character. I wonder if there's like some potential to loop in Jill Biden in some way as a reference to female doctors or whatever.
What?
Well,
What?
are you familiar with that controversy?
I am familiar with the controversy, but I don't know how that would tie into like MC.
No, somebody's just like, "Oh, are you really a doctor?" And then
Oh,
like,
okay.
whatever.
Okay, all right. Okay.
And then she'll be like, "I'm more a doctor than Doctor Strange."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that would be funny. Yeah, I would like. I would appreciate that.
It's topical, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, awesome, excellent pick. Also, really looking forward to it. Um, Now it's your turn to guess my number three.
Okay, my turn to guess your number three. I'm doing really poorly here. Um, Guardians was on your list, right? And then I only got 1
Yes,
point.
yes, that's
But I feel
correct.
like just guessing that again is kind of the pansy way, so I'm just gonna go with something else. Probably. Actually, I didn't guess Doctor Strange for you yet, so I'm gonna guess Doctor Strange.
That's another 1 point for you. It's another 1 point for you. So let me. We've already talked about Doctor Strange, so I want to talk about my actual number three pick, which is Secret Invasion.
Okay.
Um, are you familiar with Secret Invasion, the storyline?
Um, just that. Uh, no, not that much, but I'll tell you what I have heard after you mansplain it to me, please.
Yes. Here, commence mansplaining.
Commence
So,
mansplaining.
so Secret Invasion was kind of a retcon at mass scale, where it turned out that many of the characters that you'd been reading about for several years were actually scrolls the whole time who had infiltrated the Earth. And then, like, Secret Invasion was kind of like the big reveal where it's like half the characters are fighting against the other half because they're actually just scrolls. And uh, so there was a lot of like people who had fallen in love were no longer together because one of them turned out to be a scroll. And it kind of ended up being like a retcon in a way, or like a reboot for a lot of people.
That
So
sounds like the that sounds like a very angering, like a very controversial thing for a lot of fans. Like I feel like a lot of people get mad about that.
to be fair, any comic event is going to be rage inducing for a good segment of the people who read these stories.
That's true. That's true.
Uh, there is one character in particular. I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but there was one character in particular who got shafted by this whole process. But it's going to be different this time because in the MCU, the Skrulls are actually the good guys somehow.
Yeah, they talked about this a bit before Captain Marvel came out, and then like after it came out, and everybody's like, "Whoa, that was unexpected," right?
Yeah, the Skrulls are typically bad. Super Skrull is usually a Fantastic Four villain, and then like the Skrull versus Kree wars, Earth basically gets caught in the middle of those. But this time, the Skrulls are somewhat sympathetic. You've got like that whole plot line in Captain Marvel. Uh, it seems like Fury has been a Skrull this whole time, so like maybe in Winter Soldier, it was a Skrull who died, and then Fury emerged from the shadows. What do you think of that?
Wait, okay, now you're confusing me. So like
Uh,
it was revealed in Spider-Man: Far From Home that Nick Fury was a Skrull.
yeah,
Uh,
so
yeah, the nice guy Skrull from Captain Marvel, and then so now you're saying that the one that died in Winter Soldier was, or
he was a Skrull. Yeah,
but how could he be around in Spider-Man: Far From Home, or is it a different Skrull?
Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Because
There
that's
was
what
a
it was.
Skrull.
He was a Skrull.
Spider-Man: Far. Oh, okay, okay. Might be a different Skrull.
Okay, now you're okay. You're confusing me, but I see what you're saying. Okay.
Also, yeah, Winter Soldier is before Far From Home. Yeah, my timeline does not line up amazingly, but I think there's shenanigans to be had. I think there will be at least there will be a couple more characters who were scrolls all along.
Do you
That's my
think?
prediction.
Okay, yeah. I hope they don't overdo that. Do you think this has to do with the Far From Home post-credit scene where Nick Fury's off on his spaceship with the Skrulls?
Yeah, so that's like yes, but like also like who is invading? You know,
If the
I
Skrulls
just
are
have
good guys, who's the invaders? Yeah.
yeah, like I have many questions. So I'm looking forward to seeing them answered.
Well, it could be Krees, right? Because don't they look human?
Kreese,
Some Krees do. Like Jude Law was a
yeah,
Kree and he looked human, but then there's some pink skinned Krees or something.
I'm not sure what a native Kree looks like. The Kree are an empire, so like they absorb other.
Okay, so
Uh,
they could have different species and
yeah,
ethnicities or whatever.
yeah. If you look at the like more powerful Kree, like Gladiator for example, um, the yeah, it's just it varies widely. So yeah, I don't know. All right, what are we up to?
You're guessing my number two, I think.
Okay, uh, refresh my memory. What were your top five so far?
Okay, my five was Deadpool 3, my four was Ant-Man 3, and my three was Doctor Strange.
Okay, and I think I got 1 point for Spider-Man already.
Yeah.
Okay, so not gonna guess Spider-Man again. I'm gonna say let's say it must be right in front of me.
I feel like it's kind of obvious, but maybe not.
I'll say Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
No, but that was my other honorable mention. So
Ah,
I'll give you a point for that.
all right. What's your number? What number two?
My number two was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Should have guessed it.
Yeah.
I'm a failure.
So let's talk about Guardians 3 since we talked about Spider-Man already, or we're
Yeah,
gonna talk about Spider-Man more at the end. Um, yeah, Guardians 3. Do you think? What do you think they're gonna do with that? Is that gonna be like an Adam Warlock thing, and then also the Gamora thing? Is she gonna be part of them? Is it gonna be like? Is the whole movie gonna be about them trying to chase her to convince her to join them back? What do you think they're gonna do there?
I think they're gonna do 50 First Dates with Star Lord and Gamora.
Fifty
Where they
First
have
Dates.
to... um,
Gamora's gonna do her best Drew Barrymore impression, and Chris Pratt's
right.
gonna do his Adam Sandler impression.
Yeah, exactly. So no, but like, so you know that scene in Guardians One where he puts the headphones on her head and they're like dancing, and then she tries to slice him open. I think they're gonna have a deja vu moment of something like that. And it's gonna be anyway. I also think it's like a plot vehicle to get Thor some different character development. Like I don't know, something's gonna happen.
Do you think he's still gonna be with them?
Thor's in Guardians 3 for sure.
Okay. I thought they had the potential to actually just drop that completely. Like I wouldn't put them past that. Just like in the first line of the movie, be like, "Oh yeah, we just dropped Thor off at his new home," or something.
So like Metal Gear Solid 2. Oh wait, I didn't play those. Um, spoilers. Yeah, maybe they just ditched Thor early on.
I
Be a
mean,
good
I feel
plot
like a
twist.
lot of people would get angry if they did that because of the ending of Avengers, but I don't know.
Or maybe Thor is at the spa the whole time, and then he gets
Because
out.
okay, so here's the thing. They they had announced Guardians 3 a long time ago, right? Like I think even when Endgame came out, but like I'm fuzzy on the timeline, but I'm pretty sure Thor 4 was not announced until like after Endgame was done already. And so like everybody thought Thor's story was going to continue into Guardians 3 and he wasn't going to get another solo movie anymore.
Yeah, that makes. I think that makes sense. I feel like, uh, well, I don't know. Maybe that was the plan, and then Ragnarok did really well.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
So
or
maybe
they might just do like he's in Guardians 3 and like he has like a bit part in Thor 4 and it's just going to be mostly about Valkyrie and Natalie Portman.
would not hate that at all. Uh, also, Thor has a built-in way to
He's a
reboot
huge
him
crush on Natalie
via
Portman.
Ragnarok, although they've done Ragnarok technically. Um, but yeah, so like I don't know. They could go a lot of different ways with this. I definitely wouldn't have guessed Night Elves for Thor: Dark World, but okay, like you know, everybody makes mistakes.
Wait, what about Dark Night Elves? What?
Or Dark Elves. Those were the villains in Thor: Dark World.
Yeah. You didn't like those? That they weren't like fully developed and fleshed out for you?
They
They weren't like
uh,
you couldn't tell what they wanted. They were like, you know, big evil, bad evil dudes that just wanted evil stuff to happen for evil's sake. That wasn't
I
good enough for
guess
you?
I guess they are dark elves. I mean, so it's like, if you're coming from a D&D mindset, you're like, oh, like you accept that, like, oh, they're dark elves. Well, no, what was it like? They had an alliance with Odin at one point, and then I don't know, dude. It must not have been. This is
They
one of the ways
okay, well I don't yeah. They
that
fought Thor's
I judge
grandfather.
movies.
In the MCU, they fought Thor's grandfather and the grandfather like subdued them. I don't know
Okay,
why they were fighting. I think it was over the Reality Stone, the
I've seen
Aether.
that movie at least twice, and I still can't tell you the plot. And that is, in my mind, not a good movie. Then, you know,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
it's one of my criteria.
Fair enough. Okay,
Okay, okay,
moving on.
yeah. So you've already guessed my top two. You just need to guess the order.
I've already guessed your top two because I guessed
Oh wait,
Guardians and I guessed Doctor Strange and I guessed.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So which is one and
Oh,
which
so
is
I just
two?
got a 50-50 here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going with Guardians for number two.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it.
Ding, ding, ding. I don't know how many
Okay.
points I get for that.
So I think we just talked about Guardians 3. We kind of touched on Doctor Strange. Don't have much to add there. So you're number one. Wait, have we said you're number one already?
Um, no. No. Well, you have not guessed my number one.
Okay. And I guess both Spider-Man and Doctor Strange at some point in my life. Yeah, I don't know. Is it Ironheart?
Well, I'll give you a hint. We have talked about it. It's just we haven't talked about it. You haven't talked about it for me as a pick.
uh, is it Thor: Love and Thunder?
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, number one. Interesting. Tell me more.
I mean, I just after Ragnarok, Thor is just awesome. You know, I'm on that bandwagon. Christian Bale as the antagonist, Natalie Portman coming back to do like the Jane Foster as Thor storyline. Um, Supposedly Valkyrie has a big part too, and then I'm like kind of holding out for like a Kate Blanchett return.
Interesting.
Um, so yeah, I just yeah, and I think it's gonna do big money too because he's the last of like the big three uh, from like phase one, two, and three, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
it's probably gonna be
Um,
like the yeah.
you said a lot of interesting things there. So, what it, in the title of this movie? Who do you think is the love interest?
Oh, well, interesting you asked that because I heard that Jamie, oh God, what is her last name? Alexander? Jamie
Talking about Lady Sif.
Lady Sif is coming back. So
Yep.
like, and I think she's like the actress and the character are like way better fit for his love interest. So I'm hoping that's what it's gonna be. Um, and then I'm assuming like Valkyrie's gonna have like a love subplot too there somewhere. So
So
uh,
you're saying we're gonna get a fight between Natalie Portman, uh, Tessa Thompson, is that her name, and Jamie Alexander,
maybe not a fight between them, but I would not be opposed to that. What is her name? God, we gotta find her name.
the actress for Lady Sif.
Oh, it is Jamie Alexander. Okay, because I knew she was like she. They had asked her to come back like a bunch, like for Thor 2 and Thor 3, but she was busy with her TV show. But her TV show ended last year,
Oh, what a shame.
so yeah. And I think they just announced she's coming back pretty recently.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like I know I sense some kind of plot twist, or or I sense like we think it's going to be a love triangle with Thor at one of the points, but actually it's a love triangle with all the females.
You mean what? For each other?
uh, man can
Okay,
dream.
you need to go write something for like Pornhub now, dude. This is
Well, I can't anymore because they're only accepting verified users. But yeah, okay, Thor, Love, and Thunder. Yeah, it's
it's,
definitely in my honorable mentions.
that's an interesting, like you pointed out the subtitle because I didn't think about it that much, but yeah, Love and Thunder. Yeah, I guess you're right. They're trying to make you think it's Jane Foster and Thor again, but it's definitely going to be something else. Like it's either going to be like what I said, Lady Sif and Thor, or something crazy like you said, or
Yeah,
something to do with
something
Valkyrie.
something off the wall is in play. Um, Something else I wanted to go back to. You mentioned Kate Blanchett. Marvel, they've they've really done their villains dirty for years and years, where nobody lives past one movie. It's killed them all off. Um, what do you think about that? Because that's not how it goes in the comics. Everyone lives to fight another day. When people do die, it's an event. What do you think?
Um, yeah, I feel like in the MCU they also do like resurrections a lot, so it would be nice if they had more villains that like take the Loki path and uh, you know, um, live to see another day and get more character development and character arcs. Especially since they're Christian Bale. I mean, I feel like he's like such a caliber of like this high caliber actor that you would want to keep him around. But he also seems like the kind of actor that'd be like, no, I'm one and done, dude. Like, get me out of here.
He does seem hard to work with,
Yeah.
but you've got a great point. They get some amazing actors and actresses to play the villains, but they're all one shot roles. The one guy. I mean, talking about resurrections, the only one that really comes to mind is Red Skull, Hugo Weaving.
True. Well, I said resurrections is mostly for uh, heroes, I guess, but I mean, I'm just saying they could do resurrections, which is what I'm hoping for Kate Blanchett.
You know,
Yeah.
I think one of the problems is the way they make their villains is such that you can't really get. They make these villains that are too strong to be held in by like the Raft, for example. Um, and the Raft doesn't even really exist because Shield doesn't exist anymore. Uh, they can't use the negative dimension because there's no Fantastic Four. So it's like they have set up a situation intentionally or not where the villains are. If you're playing a villain in an MCU, you're knowing that you're a one and done. But it didn't have to be this way.
Yeah, that's true. It remains to be seen. Obviously, since they're doing a lot of shows now, they're gonna have these villains that are sticking around for at least the season of these shows and maybe more.
Yeah,
So maybe they'll start, you know, uh, pivoting away from that. Like, for example, Falcon and Winter Soldier Baron Zemo's coming back, right? Um, I mean, he's a villain that lived, and you didn't think you were going to see him again anyway, but here he is.
Zemo. Oh, you're talking. Zemo is the guy in Civil War, right?
Yeah, the guy in Civil War. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the big baddie for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like,
Did
unfinished
Did you
business.
know? I watched. This is like the one knock I have against Winter Soldier, which is kind of mostly my fault, but um, I went way too long through that movie thinking that Sebastian Stan, but I thought Bucky and Zemo were the same character just because they look alike. No, you don't see it. It's just me.
Uh,
All right,
it's just you, dude. I mean, yeah, I
let me,
totally saw that. Yeah, yeah,
bro,
bro,
bro.
bro,
I'm gonna link you some images.
bro. What, bro?
Uh,
Um, Although to be fair, I was showing my mom the trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier, and she's like, "Who's that guy with the silver arm?" And I'm like, "That's Bucky." And she's seen like every single MCU movie. She loves them all. And I was like, "That's Bucky." And then she's like, "Who's Bucky?" And I'm like, "Captain America's best friend." And she's like, "I thought the black guy was Captain America's best friend." I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I'm not seeing a great side by side comparison, so I'm not going to link you two images, but I think that they look the same. So
Okay,
that's
dude.
just
Okay. Well, if you think that after watching Falcon and Winter Soldier still, then we're
well.
just
Do
not
you
gonna
think they'll
talk
give
about it anymore.
him the? Are they going to give him the purple hood and the sword? I think it's going to be like that.
Oh, they seem to like make him more grounded. He didn't seem to be more that comic-y. So I don't know if they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
Okay. Well, looks like we did it. We got through our top five and
Yeah.
our bottom five.
We don't need to score it. You won by a landslide. I don't even have
Yeah,
to do the math.
I've got mind hacks.
Mind hacks. You were what was it for like the first two or three in the
I
least
was two for
anticipated? Yeah,
two,
you were 2 for 2 in the
and then
beginning.
I got 1 point.
Damn, dude. That was nuts. Um, okay, so I have three topics I want to talk about. Actually, nope, we already talked about one. So I have two topics I want to talk about. Is there anything you want to talk about before I ask you these two bigger questions?
Now,
Any of the other
shoot.
shows like Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, anything we didn't talk about?
Uh, these shows, no. At the end, I do want to share what I'm watching this week and what I'll be watching next week.
At the end when we're done.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So the one question, I have two big questions. Number one is, what do you think they're gonna do about the time jump from Avengers? Do you think everything is going to be taking place after Avengers and Spider-Man 2, which was supposed to take place in the year 2023, I believe?
Good question, because up until now, Marvel has always been set in present day, right?
Yeah, or for the most part, yeah.
Unless, yeah, like unless it was something like Captain America or, um, I can't even think of another example. Guardians of the well, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. Is it? I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, except for like
uh,
Captain Marvel and for her first Captain America, but for the most part.
yeah, and this is also like a Marvel versus DC thing where Marvel uses real city names and tries to like be set in the present day, or DC is a little faster, looser with that. So I think uh, I think they're gonna set everything 3 or 4 years in the future. They may kind of compress it a little bit. So like basically if they delay, not delay, but if they space out their releases, eventually it'll merge back,
It'll just
five
catch up.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah. Because I mean, we're only getting WandaVision in January, and then that's already 2021. And then I think Falcon and Winter Soldier's coming. Is that right after that?
I'm not sure, dude.
Okay, yeah. So then,
I'm more focused on whether or not I can actually go to the movie theaters
oh jeez,
than what's in them.
oh jeez, yeah. Oh man, yeah. My
So I don't
my
want to get too political, but um, there are a lot of people. I don't want to say a lot. I have met or walked into or run into a lot of people. I say a lot, but it's my perception that it's a lot of people who are like, I ain't taking no vaccine, you know?
Jesus.
So it's like, the vaccine is only good if people actually take it, right?
Yeah. That's what it's come to. If you take it yourself, though, you won't get sick, right? Or there's like a 95% chance you won't get sick, right?
Uh, well, no, there's almost a zero chance you get sick. If you may experience symptoms because your body is going to respond to it as if it's a live infection.
Right, right. No, no.
Uh,
I'm sorry. I mean, if you take it, you wait however long you have to wait after you take it. Then, like, if somebody else has it, they can't give it to you, right?
oh, so yeah, so there's like different success rates. I think the Pfizer one is 95%, and the Moderna one is a little less. So let's say 100 people take the Pfizer vaccine, 5 of them are still at risk to getting infected.
Uh, okay. But that's like that's like a case by case like person basis. So like if I take it and it works on me, then I'm like 100% immune.
Yeah, you're 100% immune. The
As long
virus can still
as
mutate.
long as it doesn't mutate. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, COVID-19 it itself is a mutation. And it's part of the reason why the vaccine was able to be created so quickly, relatively, is because they were already working on vaccines for coronaviruses.
Right. Okay. So maybe. Okay. So I mean, if you as long as you take it, then you should be good, right? Like.
I think what'll happen is the government will lift all of their lockdowns and kind of say like, take the vaccine, and if you don't, that's on you. You know.
Okay. But like businesses might be like. I mean, I heard talk about this like business that like there might be like a vaccine passport or something or ID where you have to show it to certain businesses to get in. I don't know if they're doing that. That's just something that was talked about I think on the news or something.
That seems like a violation of my health information privacy.
Well, see, but like the government is not going to do that, but like if a private company wanted to do that and then like let's say restaurants required that or something. Okay, this sounds like way too much. There's no way anybody's going to do
No,
that.
it's
Not
that's
in
like
America.
specifically illegal. Like how because HIPAA prevents healthcare providers from sharing your medical information. So if you have some kind of passport, like how is it verified? You can,
Okay. Yeah, that's
you
true.
know,
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. All right, that ain't happening.
yeah, no. I like I said, I think at a certain point when the virus is not the virus is already widely available. When the vaccine is widely available, at some point the government's going to be like, take it or don't. Yeah, it's your own problem.
Okay, I know we're on a tangent here, but how quickly do you, if you wanted to get it, do you think you could get it?
Me here in New York,
Yeah.
um, I think they would not give it to me because I already had it last year, or not last year, in
Oh, I
March.
forgot that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So technically, I'm supposed to be immune. It seems like a waste of a vaccine.
Would that put you at the bottom of the at the back of the line if you wanted to get it?
I mean, I don't even like. I'm not even 100% sure I would take it if only for what I just said. I'm in theory immune, right? So I took my flu shot this year. I normally don't take the flu shot. The flu vaccine is also like kind of rolling the dice because in order for them to have enough made, they have to guess which strain of flu will be prevalent, which is why the flu vaccine doesn't have like amazing success rates.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they have to decide. They have to guess which flu vaccine to make, like at the beginning of the year, so that it's ready for November,
They have
December.
to guess. That's
I mean,
oh,
yeah,
being a
this is
scientist, gotta guess.
right, right. And imagine if you get it wrong. Oh, the science is false.
Yeah. Okay.
Imagine that.
That's a good info. Good info trading there. I didn't know that a lot of that.
Yep, yep.
I will definitely, for the record, I will be getting it when it is available to me. I'm probably at the back of the line because of my age, and I'm not in a profession where it, is warrants it at all. So, uh, but yeah, for the record, I will be getting it as soon as I can.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, there's like no downside. It's free. Uh, just go get it.
But I
Everything.
don't know if I'll be going back to movies though. I don't know if I'm gonna be going back to the movie theater. That's why we started talking about this, right? Like,
Oh,
and
why
I am
not?
like I'm like you. Like I used to see everything in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Um, I like so much so that I would go to like the noon showings to get the half
Yep, yep,
price.
yep. I've been there.
Excuse me.
At
Um,
one point, I was dating a girl. We dated for 3 months, and that was our thing. Every Tuesday, literally every Tuesday, well, I guess like for 12 Tuesdays in a row, um, we would go see the movie
that sounds like
at the theater.
relationship goals, dude.
I mean, yeah, it was probably the highlight. Although there were not every week there was something we genuinely wanted to see. So we were we were scraping the bottom of a barrel
Sometimes.
occasionally. Yeah, yeah.
I've been there
But
too. I've been
I
there
think
too.
that's also good. Like I feel like there's value in watching bad movies. It helps you like appreciate good movies more. You know?
I remember one time I was at camp and I was so bored on the weekends that I went to see the Scooby Doo movie like twice or two or three times by myself.
Yeah.
That was like a low point. I was like,
Dang man.
and I think the ticket taker like recognized me the second time, and he was just like, "What are you doing, dude? You're by yourself." And it was kind of like a shaming thing too. I don't know. I was kind of embarrassed.
That is a it's definitely a low moment. I'm glad you've moved past
This was
that.
before like smartphones, and I didn't have a laptop with me, so it was like no
Yeah.
TV. Yeah,
Gosh.
it was pretty boring. Anyway,
For sure.
okay, moving on to my last question. Okay, what is this I just wrote it in my notes, and now it just says Spider-Man questions. I said we wanted to talk about Spider-Man. Why did I want to
Yep.
talk about Spider-Man?
I mean, we could talk about Spider-Man.
Oh,
Talk about
oh, I want to
Spider-Man.
talk about because of the casting announcements, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
assuming these are all real and not BS, we're talking about they're definitely gonna have Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. They even said the girlfriends, Emma Stone, and
Yep.
did they say Kirsten Dunst or was it a different girl?
I think I did see that. Let me pull up the rumor mill.
And Doc Ock, Alfred Molina,
Yep, yep.
and Electro, Jamie Foxx.
Some sort of Miles Morales.
Did they say that too? This is just blowing my mind. Did they really say that too?
So Miles is in the MCU. Donald Glover is actually his uncle.
Yeah, that's right. Also, if Chris is watching or listening to this, I heard him call he was reading like upcoming PlayStation games, and he was like, "What the heck is Spider-Man Miles Morales?"
He doesn't read.
Sorry to throw you
I
under the bus there, Chris.
we learned this about Chris recently. He doesn't actually read. So not surprised. I mean, he should have seen Into the Spider Verse. It's kind
I
of
don't think he did.
yeah. That was his chance.
So Miles Morales is coming.
Miles Morales. Let me see.
He's got a lot of good morals.
It would be weird for him not to if they're doing any kind of crossover. Yeah, I think he'll be in it.
You think it's gonna tie in with the actual Into the Spider Verse movie?
Into
Because
this.
at the end of
So,
Into the Spider Verse movie, they did tease like a multiverse. Is this gonna be the
yeah.
same multiverse as the MCU multiverse?
It's probably a sub. Anyway, um, I think they will. So it could be the case that it's a retelling of Into the Spider Verse live action. It could be something similar, but so we know it's a multiverse because of Doctor Strange, right? We also know because like there's no way for these characters to be in the same movie otherwise. What we don't know is who is going to be the main character coming out of this, and what will those characters like be recurring. Um, what happens in the comics is that uh, basically they've okay. So Spider Verse all came about because it turned out there was a secret organization of spiders. So there was like a Spider-Man for every universe, right? And they are locked in this never-ending war against the Hunters, led by Craven. Um, so like that was kind of like the reason for the team up is like us spiders band together, or else we'll literally all be hunted down into extinction. I don't I don't know what that has to do with Doctor Octopus or Jamie Foxx coming back. Um, so I don't think we've seen even close to the last of casting for this. And yeah, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see.
Okay. Um, Another question. Shoot, where was I gonna ask?
You were gonna ask if Toby Maguire's organic web shooters will come up.
Oh God. I don't think you said that. I don't think they're. I think this is gonna be a one-off, right? I don't think they're gonna be here to stay. I think it'd just be too expensive. But um, they might show up again, and like you said, Doctor Strange. Because I'm looking at the MCU order here, and it looks like Spider-Man's coming out the end of next year, and then the first MCU movie for 2022 is Doctor Strange. So it looks like
Yeah,
they're like gonna run into each other.
it seems like they're creating a new genre of movies here, right? Crossover movies. I don't think we've seen that before.
Crossover. When you say crossover, you mean crossover with Sony movies or crossovers with like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man?
Like yeah, like crossover with Doctor
Because I mean, they
Strange
did
and
Captain
Spider-Man.
America: Civil War, and that had Black Panther, Iron Man,
Yeah, so
Black
Civil
Widow.
War was a Captain America movie. No, wasn't Civil War an Avengers movie?
No, it was a Captain America movie with a bunch of Avengers in it, and that was like the first time they had done that
Yeah, I
with like
think
big parts rather than just like little cameo parts.
what I'll say is this one is it's such a quick release time. So it's almost like you go watch Spider-Man and then 2 weeks later you watch Doctor Strange.
Do you think they're not gonna like? I hope it's not like the Captain Marvel and Avengers, because like remember they was like 2 months apart, and then like oh man we're gonna go see Captain Marvel, and then she's gonna have such a big part of Avengers, and then she's just like goes off lottie dying around the galaxy for most of the movie.
You mean you're talking about Endgame or Infinity War?
Endgame, because Infinity War they
Yeah.
at the end they tease her coming, then in March of last year her movie releases, then in May Avengers comes out, and so there's like all this anticipation for her to like be like this big member of the team, and then she did like barely did anything in the movie until
Yeah.
the end.
She was there at the beginning and at the end, right?
So I'm just like this seems like they're setting up this huge. I'm pretty sure we're Spider-Man. They're gonna be like this giant, like oh my god, look at all these Spider-Man. This multiverse is collapsing or something. We got to save the multiverse. And then like in Doctor Strange, they barely talk about the Spider-Man characters or something.
Oh, yeah, so right, that's something you got to think about. I am a little worried about people who they're like Doctor Strange fans but not Spider-Man fans, so they go to watch the second movie in the crossover and are like what the hell is happening, you know?
Dude,
So
I do
like
not understand those people.
right. Did I tell you the story of how I saw what's that show called? Stranger Things?
Yeah.
I told you the story of the first time I watched Stranger Things.
No, no, you didn't tell me, but I'm just saying, yeah, like go on.
Oh, okay. So I'm like, okay, let me sit down and watch Stranger Things. Everyone else has seen it. Like, let me just knock this out. Not even really looking forward to it. So I go to Netflix, find it, push the button, hit play, off we go. So I'm watching, and I'm like, wow, the way they tell this story is really interesting. It really puts you into the thick of things. They haven't explained a single thing to me, the watcher. There's just these people like being held in jail by Russians and so on and so forth. And I'm watching and I'm watching and I'm like, this doesn't seem right. Like, let me read the description. I go and I realize I'm watching the last episode already because my wife had already clicked through it.
Oh, nice, nice. Did you get like
So
through the whole thing, or
I stopped once I realized and I started from episode one.
okay?
But yeah, I wonder if like that's what's gonna happen if you go watch Doctor Strange without having seen Spider-Man next year.
Um, yeah, I remember like I think my cousin she was telling me that she went to go see Avengers with her friends, and then like one of them was uh, like like what happened to Thor's dad? Why doesn't he go talk to his dad? And it's like, well, he died in like Thor Ragnarok, and it's like, what's Thor Ragnarok? It's like, oh man, like,
Yeah, yeah. So that's something that has happened and it still happens to an extent with comics where it's like, oh, I want to get into the storyline. It's like, well, okay, here's like 30 things you need to read before you can barely understand what's happening now. I wonder if the MCU is heading towards that
Yeah, I
situation.
remember. Yeah, I remember before Captain America: Civil War came out, I wanted to read the Civil War comics, and I thought it was just gonna be like one giant long comic. But then it was like, no, you had to like go to the Wikipedia or to Reddit or something. Like, you need to read these comics from like these heroes, and like, and I was like, oh, this seems like a lot. So if you haven't been invested in it from the beginning, I can understand, I guess.
Well, I think Civil War is actually, uh, I think they did a decent job. If you only read the 7 comics called Civil War 1 through 7, I think you get a good piece of the story. Um, with like maybe you're missing out a little bit on like Spider-Man's character arc, but you're right. Like, let's say look at DC, like any of the crises on Infinite Earths or any like Blackest Night, any of those things, you can't just read the main series. You got to get into the tie-ins and so on and so forth. So, you know, like if you walked into a comic ship, comic shop right now, I guess you can't because of COVID. And but if you just like pull the comic off the shelf, there's like a decent chance you're going to read something that doesn't make any sense at all to you.
Yeah. And it seems like for a casual reader, this seems like, oh, that seems like too much work. I gotta go find like where this info or what comic
Yeah,
this is. If it's not like all in one series or something, it's too much
right.
work to do.
Or imagine your first Marvel movie is Endgame.
Yeah, I heard about somebody that did that too, and she was just like, I don't, who's this character? What's going on? What's going? Like,
Right.
I would be angry too. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. We'll
Um,
see though.
I remembered my other Spider-Man question though. So,
Yeah.
what do you think they're gonna be doing with Morpheus? And I think there was other Sony Spider-Man movie like Venom 2, Morpheus, Venom 2, and I think there was something else too.
Morpheus or Morbius?
Sorry, Morbius. My bad. My bad. Don't kill me, everybody.
I was like Morpheus. Hey, we're getting some Neil Gaiman over
I
here.
meant Morbius. Yeah.
Um, Morbius. Let me see. I haven't looked at anything related to Morbius. Uh, starring Jared Leto.
Which was supposed to come out already if it wasn't for COVID, I think.
This, I mean, this probably has no other like A-list like heroes in it. It's probably just like a villain story, like an even lower budget Suicide Squad.
Okay.
That's my interpretation.
You think they're gonna do anything with it, or you think they're gonna like New Mutants it or something?
Not with Morbius. uh, wait, what do you mean? Oh, so you're saying like,
Well, I think they
wait,
were
explain
trying
that.
to set up like a Sinister Six or something. I don't know why you would go for like a villain movie story if you weren't like trying to build it into something more with Spider-Man.
Uh, oh, so I guess I understand like your Venom uh comment now. So like, is this another Venom that's like it's a Spider-Man villain, but Spider-Man's not in it. It doesn't really interact with the rest of the universe.
Yeah, I mean, I was always thinking that they're gonna build they're gonna build Venom into the Spider-Man universe when they feel like they're ready to pull the trigger. Like, there was rumors that Tom Holland was gonna make a cameo in the Venom movie. I'm just okay. My question is like, do you think Morbius and like Venom 2 and all these other Spider-Man villain movies that they're doing, do you think they're gonna be tied into each other, or are they just gonna like one off them for the money?
So it's interesting because we were just talking about how all the villains die after one movie. Maybe this is a way for them to like capitalize on these villain characters, but like not put them in a situation where they have to die. So I
Okay.
think I think I you know what it is. It's just the way the MCU, the way the stories are told. Like they're too powerful to be left alive, right? So and Venom is also one of the most popular villains. So I think I think Venom will stay in his own little universe if he ever has to direct. I think I don't know. It's not going to go well for one of them.
Okay. Maybe. Hmm, COVID might have. Okay, COVID might have messed all their plans up though. Maybe they'll be built into the Spider Verse movie stuff that they're doing.
The villains.
Yeah, like, cause I mean, if they're building in Doc Ock and Jamie and Electro, if they're gonna acknowledge all the previous Sony stuff, then like the current Sony stuff with Morbius and uh, Venom, I think should be included as well. I don't know though. It wouldn't be like a deal breaker if they didn't. I feel like these movies don't have any, or I feel like the Morbius movie in particular doesn't have any legs. Like I feel like even without COVID, it wasn't gonna do that well.
I mean, didn't Jared Leto just fail at playing Joker? Did I not?
Yes, but don't hold that against him. Like he's a good actor.
Okay. I don't know. Like it really depends what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to do like a character piece with like Morbius and Jared Leto, okay, that's fine. If I'm looking at it, it's got like Tyrese Gibson as like a side character. Like I don't know. I think it's too early to judge. We don't know.
Okay, because I mean they could just make it like a coincidentally, just like the Joker movie, like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, where it wasn't in the same universe. It was just like you
Right.
said, a character study, a different version of telling his story.
Right. Yeah, it's also interesting. Morbius is not on this list that we worked through today.
Well, it's technically Sony owned, right? It's like one of the Sony ones,
Mm, interesting.
like just like Venom. 'Cause I don't know, their agreement is so weird. Um, like Spider-Man is allowed, like they made an exception for Spider-Man, but like Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery is not. But Marvel is helping them to produce the Sony movies or something, and then or Marvel's helping them with distribution or something.
Bro, that sounds more complicated than trying to explain Crisis on Infinite Earths.
It is.
Like
And
you
then when I was
actually have to
follow
be a lawyer.
when the deal for Spider-Man was like almost like falling through, like remember they were gonna like cancel it because there was a time where Spider-Man 3 was canceled or something.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and I was following it. It was really hard to follow. So I don't know. I don't know. Some of these deals they have going on for some of these characters is really effed up. Like, are you familiar with like the Hulk and Universal deal?
No.
So like the Universal has the rights to any solo movie for the Hulk. So
So that's why he doesn't have a solo movie.
that's why he doesn't have a solo movie after Incredible Hulk because they got in a spat about it and then a disagreement. So Marvel got around it by having him in all of their uh, team up movies where he's not the
Right.
main character. And that's why like the Russo brothers were like, yeah, so we made Hulk have like a 3 movie arc basically from Ragnarok to Avengers Infinity War to Endgame, and that was like Hulk's story. Like that's how they made Hulk's story work within the universe, I guess.
Yeah.
So like, and it doesn't seem like anytime soon they're gonna be like coming to an agreement on that. It just seems super weird.
Yeah.
Like more lawyers in trouble than it's worth. If I feel like one company or the other should just buy it out. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know these
mean,
things, but yeah.
you got to wonder like is it really coming down to the money because I don't even know what the number would look like for it to be not worth it for Disney to just buy it back. You know, it's like just write a blank check, do what you got to do because it'll be worth it. Seems to me.
Or maybe they figured we don't have to write any checks. We'll just do this team up movies and forget him as a solo character. And I mean, as long as fans are happy, Mark Ruffalo's happy, Disney's happy. I don't know.
So I think that makes sense as long as I'll ask you this question: do you feel like we've reached saturation for Marvel movies? Do we have enough or even too many Marvel movies?
I don't think we're there yet, but I think we're getting there. Um, I think uh, they realize that. That's why they're trying to pivot to the Disney Plus thing. Um, but also, I think that they're lacking any direction right now. It seems like they're just trying to make the universe, like, build the universe and make it this big sprawling thing. Um, there's no like Thanos tease, you know.
Right. Yeah.
There's no Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet. All of the MacGuffins got to gather all the MacGuffins in each every movie tease. So it seems like they're doing a bunch of different kind of teas, like smaller level teases. So maybe Secret War is going to be the big thing. Um, they're kind of going. They got the multiverse thing going. They got the Secret War thing going. They got a bunch of the smaller characters building up their stories in the Disney Plus section. So I don't know. It. I think we're gonna get there soon though, because it's just gonna take. If anybody wants to get into these, it's just gonna take more and more time commitment. You know. Um.
Yeah,
So like,
it's almost like they might write themselves into a corner, right?
yeah, like imagine a kid. Imagine your son. How old is he? Is he like two, 1 or 2?
It's two.
He's 2. Imagine him in like 10 years. He's like, "Hey, Dad, I want to get into like the MCU." And he's like, can you watch them with me? It's like, okay, son. Well, do you have like 300 hours to like?
Well, I mean, what you would probably do is you'd have to make like a required and then an optional viewing list.
Yeah,
So
which
like
you're constantly having to update, right?
maybe I think okay, so let's actually think about this. Like let's say you wanted to catch up until now. Couldn't you just only watch the Avengers movies and still reasonably follow along?
Depends on what kind of viewer you are.
Yeah, I see.
If
I
Yeah, if you're like my dad, that just like, oh, action, bright lights, explosions, then yeah, it's fine. But like, for people like me, where like I have to know why did he say that line and everybody laughed, you know, or something, and then it's like,
well, I
uh,
feel like if you're that person, you're gonna sit down and watch the 300 hours.
yeah, probably.
'Cause I think I'm like that too. Like as I'm watching I was watching Clone Wars this week. Um in every episode they always repeat a line either from the prequels or from the original trilogy. It's almost like you almost watch it to find that Easter egg. So uh, yeah, I think there are people out there who will sit down and watch the whole series. There are people who will not. Are The bigger question is, are people going to get turned away? They're going to not invest at all because they feel like, well, I'm just not into that universe. I can't get into it.
So it might become, yeah, it might become more niche. It might become like you have the hardcore fans that are gonna spend the money, but you might have less casual fans down the line.
So this has been a argument raging in comics for as long as I've paid attention to comics, which is like, how much because let's say you've got 20 pages in a single issue, right? How much of that is spent like addressing plot points from previous issues versus putting everything in a self-contained story with the idea being, well, if it's a new reader, I want to capture the new reader and get them to start following along. I want to have I want to have like maybe both, right? I want to have a self-contained story that with a beginning, middle, and end, but I also want to have like a teaser or something that leads into the next issue, so they buy the next one. And I think it's like a similar conversation you're having right now about the movies. Like, to what extent can you watch, for example, Spider-Man: Homecoming, just by itself as a movie? Um, and to what extent do you need to like see what comes before and after it to enjoy it?
Yeah, and we're getting to the point where it's like okay, if I want it, okay, well, Star Wars is not a good, Star Trek is not a good franchise. Okay, like Fast and the Furious franchise.
Yeah.
Hmm. If I want to get in the Fast and the Furious franchise, what do I start with? Well, I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, of course, they did play a little bit fast and loose with the timeline, but it's pretty straightforward, right? And also, like the titles aren't exactly clear and straightforward, but you can figure out 1 through 9, right? Or one through
You
eight.
mean you didn't know which numbered one was Fast and Furious?
Well, like, yeah, I mean, Tokyo Drift has no 3 in there at all. Okay, and
Well,
then like,
Tokyo Drift is oh wait, Tokyo Drift is, but didn't Tokyo Drift come out before Too Fast Too Furious?
no, it came out after Too Fast and Furious, but it takes place like after Fast 4, 5, 6, before 7. So the timeline is kind of
Oh,
messed
I
up.
see, I
But if
see,
you
I see.
wanted, like, if you wanted to get into it, the viewing order, you would be totally fine with 1 through 8, and you would have missed nothing, right? People
Right.
now are like I've seen people on Quora and Reddit like, I want to get into the MCU. Where do I start? And then it's like, well, it's just like you have like people have to come up with these lists, and it's like, and because it's not like it's not like MCU 1, MCU 2, MCU 3, MCU 4. It's not that straightforward. People kind of get turned off by it. Uh, Obviously not everybody, but still same thing. It's kind of like Star Wars viewing orders too, right? Like if you want to get into it, what is the best way for the first time you're watching any Star Wars to watch it? And you have people debating about it, and it's like if I'm a casual fan and I'm like I want to start watching Star Wars, and I have like these like people on the internet just arguing about, I'm like, well, I don't know. Well, who's right? I
You
don't.
know, you know what this is for me. The thing that I can't get into, not because like I don't think I'll like it, but it just seems too much at this point. Is Bleach, and every other person that I know who likes anime, oh Bleach this, Bleach that, and I'm like, how many hundreds of episodes do I have to watch to catch up? It,
Is that many?
so Bleach, yeah. Let me look it up because it's I think it's Bleach.
I thought One Piece was like 1,000 episodes or something.
One Piece is even more. I think One Piece takes the cake. But I get fewer uh, recommendations for uh, for One Piece than Bleach. There are 366 episodes of the Bleach anime series. So let's say you have uh, I don't know. That's like what I'm trying to like do math in my head at 1:30 in the morning. It's like 20 seasons, right? So like imagine you've been watching a show for, let's say you do 2 seasons a year. You've been watching a show for 10 years of your life, and so like now you're caught up and you're asking someone else, oh, hey, like just run through what I did in 10 years in like a couple of weeks. Eh, I don't know.
How many episodes did you say?
366.
These are anime episodes though, right? So they're like 20 minutes.
I don't know. Let me.
I mean, I've done worse, but yeah, that seems like a lot.
Huh? Uh, I am having. Okay, here's Okay, so I just discovered this website. It's called bingeclock.com. It tells you how long it takes to watch every episode of something. So, how long does it take to watch every episode of Bleach? The answer is 7 days and 15 hours.
If you don't sleep,
Right, that's 24 hours. That's actually less than I thought. So, yeah, it must be short
I've
episodes.
done worse. Yeah, but it is a lot.
Somehow Naruto has more episodes, but the thing about Naruto is vast majority of them are filler, so you don't actually have to go through that. Compared to Clone Wars, it's almost 3 days.
Clone Wars is almost 3 days.
Yeah. What? Take a guess. How many days does it take to watch every episode of Pokemon?
I never watched Pokemon.
Okay, but
How
just try
many
to
how
think
many
how
episodes
many.
is it? I don't know, 5,
5 days? No, much more than that. I'll tell you. It's the
20. I don't know.
yeah, 21 days, 9 hours and 30 minutes.
I think that was like the number for watching the entire MCU plus Netflix MCU was like 21 before Avengers Endgame came out.
Yeah.
It was like 21 days or something. But that was like Agents of Shield and all the other stuff. Agents of Shield probably took up the big chunk of that. Um,
Uh, Wow. So all of the top lists are soap operas. Not surprising once you think about it.
Sure. 5 days a week, an hour each.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever do. They even take like summer breaks? Those shows.
Uh, I don't know, dude. That's like the sweatshop of the film industry.
Sweatshop of the film industry.
So a surprising contender is The Price is Right. To watch every episode of The Price is Right, 406 days.
Yeah, nobody's doing that except for my grandma.
Sesame Street is also up there. Did you see the Netflix documentary about the guy who knew all the prices on The Price is Right?
I did watch that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That dude was
Good,
smart, man.
yeah, good times.
Um,
Good times.
and they thought he was kind of cheating or something, and then he's just like the super nerd, right?
Well, it's a weird show. It's like you're allowed to take suggestions from the audience. Like, it's weird. I think it's
Yeah.
weird. Imagine in Jeopardy, you're able to just like turn to somebody and be like, "What's the?"
I mean, yeah, it was basically like that. Like if you knew all the questions in the database or something, and you were allowed to ask the audience for their opinion, and you just shout it out, right?
Well, they it seems like they changed the rules because of him, and they no longer had just like a non-changing list of items.
Question on that show: is it like if somebody guesses like $500 and I say 501, is that still allowed, or is that
Yep.
that's allowed, but it's kind of like he's doing a dick move?
Nope. No, it's part of the game.
Part of the game. Okay.
You may want to guess a more exact number, or yeah, there's. I'm sure there's like some game theory when it comes to that. But 501 totally allowed.
But I'm guessing if you have more than two contestants, it it kind of
Right.
evens it out.
Yeah, I think if you go first, you want to just make your best guess, and unless you're going last, if you're going last and you think it's going to be a low price, you might want to put yourself as the lowest price, but by $1.
Hmm.
But I think, you know, I think you just got to get lucky.
Yeah.
All right, I think this is a good place to stop.
Okay. This was fun. This is a
Two
lot of fun.
hours.
2 hour? Are we at 2 hours?
We have done 2 hours.
Okay, that's a good number.
So I let me switch to my headset so I can put this down.
Oh, 2 hours and 2 minutes. Nice. I hope you're recording, dude.
Was I supposed to be recording?
Yeah, you're supposed to be recording.
Why?
Otherwise, we have to use my VOD.
No. Were you saving with OBS?
Nope.
Oh my god.
We have to use my VOD then.
Whatever. Just leave it here. This is where it lives. It's a Twitch VOD.
Okay. All right. We didn't even introduce ourselves.
No, we didn't do all the regular podcasty things.
Remember to like and subscribe. My name is blah blah blah. You can catch me on Twitter and Snapchat and TikTok and all the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
things that all the
We can
kids are
do that
into.
some other time. So, looks like they need our help in Overwatch.
Oh gosh. Okay, everybody, thanks for listening. Gonna switch over to gaming now. I am not gonna play Overwatch.
What is there's? If I go over there, it's 5.
I just
I should probably just go to bed. Actually.
yeah, you should. It's yeah. You go to bed.
Okay. All right. I'll see you later.
Okay. Good night.
Bye.